Hello farmers and welcome back to American Falls. Almost finished with our last foraging contract that we took last episode. I think overall in the field we're like 65% done, and I think 80 some odd percent has been delivered. So I think we'll get some money on some chaff. We'll have a little bit of extra, and of course extra goes into our bank account, which is nice, but it's chaff, so I don't think it's going to be worth that much, but every little penny in the very beginning is worth it. Starting to get a feel for the map where everything is. I'm starting to know my locations. Luckily, driving around from one side of the map to get things delivered back to the field that you were in helps you on out. Let's go on in here, and you can see Francine is patiently waiting for us. Hopefully she's turned around, which she has. And this is what we got left of the sunflowers. And once we get this field done, then we can go ahead and collect on these foraging contracts, which should put us, I can't remember what I said, I think $112,000 I think we'll be at, somewhere in there. I just checked on the contracts. We do have a fertilizing contract to do today also, so I took that. And all the other contracts I probably will pass on, and we may move on to the month of November and see what's in store for us, and in the store for us. Kind of looking for, as we mentioned before, a tractor somewhere in the 350 horsepower range. That would be nice. So that way we can get that nice lizard plow, and we can start taking some plowing contracts while we're having to lease equipment. Of course, the only thing we own currently is a Valtra tractor and a spreader for fertilizer. That's all we own. But then again, we haven't been here that long, so slowly but surely we'll get everything that we sort of need. We're building on up the farm. Well, what we can call a farm. We own a mobile home. That's what we own. So eventually we will have a nice little farmyard, and of course slowly purchase some fields, and then get to doing some of our own farming instead of doing contracts for other people. Not that doing contracts for others is a bad thing. That's how you get to where you're going to be. So as you can tell by now also that American Falls map has not been updated. Unfortunately, it failed the test, which came to a shock to Lancey Boy, because the things that failed kind of when they asked him where he got the models for some of the things that failed, it came right from the GE editor, which is right from Giant Software. So apparently some of Giant stuff fails testing once in a while too. I don't know. So unfortunately for Lancey Boy, he's got to go back to work, and then of course once he gets everything taken care of, he's got to put it back into testing, and testing is getting longer and longer. The amount of mods that are in FS22 is just mind-blowing. Only because if you've been playing long enough, when I first started playing, mods were like, there's mods, FS13, there's mods, and the mod hub didn't come along until 17. And even then, there weren't that many mods, well, compared to now. There was like maybe 5 or 6 mods a week, probably. And now it's getting to be like 5 to 6 mods a day, at least, for the most part. And testing list is getting longer and longer. But anyways, yeah, once he puts American Falls back into testing, currently, once you put a mod into testing, it's about 2 weeks out before they get to test it. So it may be a couple weeks before American Falls, if it does pass testing, will be put on out. But we'll keep farming here. We haven't advanced far enough to where, I'll have to do a whole bunch of changeovers when the update comes out. And once again, when the update comes out, it will require a new save game. So if you are playing on American Falls and you haven't gotten too far, and you are going to want the updated version of it, yeah, there will be a new save game required. So just keep that in mind. We're going to get this to one more pass there, Francine. Are we that lucky to get it going in one more pass? Don't think so. Kind of nice having foraging, harvesting contracts, because it's something we haven't done that much. Actually, you might get it done in one pass. Ah, the row of shame. We got a row of shame over there. Oh well. The only thing I'm losing here a little bit is I'm paying Francine by the hour. wonder if course play knows that there's a one extra row over there. But getting foraging harvesting contracts done here is kind of good, because I was wondering if the John Deere forage harvester, which I think is the cheapest of the harvesters, forage harvesters in the base game, and I was wondering if it had the silage additive, and it does. We don't have it in the harvester right now, but I'm just keeping it in mind for Goldcrest Valley. If that were to come up for sale, that, you know, silage additive is an option. Now, we have missed a couple of spots here in this field and on the previous field, but I think we're going to have enough chaff to get the job done. So I'm not going to go around and try to tidy up the pieces that we missed. It's just a little bit harder to do with a forage harvester, only because there's not a capacity, a grain tank on there. So when I chop it up, the chaff's got to go somewhere. So I would kind of need a worker to follow me up, but I think we're fine here. I may grab what's up here, because I can park I think it's a Deutz that we have, a Series 7 Deutz. Forage harvester should be able to reach the Deutz wherever we are at. Yep, Francine's like, I'm done. She did good, though. No, don't fold up, unfold. I just want to get these little pieces that are here. Back on up, and that little piece there. Make sure it unloads all the way. Alright, we can turn this off right here, that's fine. Alright, let's go bring this to the drop-off location. And we'll bring in some cash. I will have to double check in the store sale page as well, because I don't remember what was in there. I mean, obviously, if it was something that I wanted, I would have remembered, but I'm thinking probably nothing in there that we need. I mean, the only thing I'm looking for is, just like I said, a 300 horsepower, 350 horsepower tractor. I don't think we would be able to afford it, even if it was half off, but it'd be pretty darn close. And since we are coming up on the winter months here, we'll probably just zip right on through, because there's not going to be much to do. I mean, we still got November, so there's going to be some contracts there. But I can't say for sure in December, January, and February we're going to see many contracts, if any, that we can do. But once we get ourselves a decent medium-sized tractor, we can start getting some implements, and we can really get a lot of contracts done without having to borrow equipment. And also, I should be able to, you know, along with the Frank family, go ahead and get a whole bunch of jobs done at once and really build up that money. And that way, when American Falls does get updated, we can buy our farmyard and then start expanding into a field and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to buy any more. I'm not going to buy any land at all until the update comes out. So right where the tall silos are on the left-hand side up here, that's where we got to deliver. And fingers crossed we don't run into the same issue that we did. I think it was sunflower field that we harvested a while back, and I didn't have enough grain to finish the harvesting contract. Gotta be careful of the train here, because as we saw before, the train kind of goes through before the barriers come down, so be a little bit careful of that. Alright, this should complete it. I think I was like 82 delivered, 82% delivered. And the contract is already complete. It's a lot of extra chaff. Not a whole lot of extra chaff, but like I said, every little dollar helps. $5.28 extra that we get, but that's a combination off for both fields. Let's go collect on those two contracts. I was ready to say, where did they go? Here they are. So this one we got $9,724 for doing that one. And this one here we got $8,258. Leasing cost was only $564, so that's pretty darn good. And let me just see. Let's see what else has come up. Plowing contracts, all that. Yeah, that'd be nice to do if I had my own equipment. So, fertilizing contract in field 21. All right, so let's see where we got to go. This is where the Vulture currently is in field number 13, 21. Well, if I cut through the field here, I might be able to get right to it. So let's go ahead and jump into our Vulture. And we'll just turn ourselves around. I also think the floating deer problem in the new update will take care of that as well. I think I saw Lancey Boy mention something about the floating deer being taken care of. Now let's make sure I fertilize the right field. Actually, there is a road over here, so I should get off the field. I'm pretty sure the farmer's like, you know, you can get out the field now. It's been fertilized. Yep, we'll get off the field. And, yep, this is field number 21. So let's go ahead and turn on this spreader and make sure it's on max working width, which it is. So fertilizing contracts, we know, don't take too long. And they pay very well. It's my favorite type of contract to do when you're trying to build up money to build up a farm. Oh, yeah, and I do have the time scale at 0.5 only because the rain was supposed to hit at noon, and I didn't want to arrive when I was doing the forage harvesting contract, so we can put it back at ×2. If the rain comes while I'm fertilizing, oh well. Probably in real life you won't want to fertilize while it's raining, only because all the pellets become probably clumped together, and yeah, not the greatest thing to happen. This will be a quick, I forgot what it said, a quick $8 grand, something like that will get paid. As for doing other type of contracts, I'm really just looking forward to doing like plowing contracts, drilling contracts, harvesting contracts. I don't mind doing too much. Just that you can run into that small situation to where, for some reason on some fields, on some maps doing contracts, you never harvest enough off the field to complete the contract. And two, definitely is something I will have to lease equipment on doing contracts for a while. Because it's going to be a ways off before we can afford a harvester and probably a grain trailer. Well, grain trailers aren't that expensive, but it's nothing. Grain trailer is nothing I'm going to need for a while. Overlapping the edge of the field. It's a little bit too much there. Yeah, so actually by the time we finish this contract, we might be at 120 grand. Money is slowly piling up. But really, once we get a few items under our belt, the money will be coming in faster and faster and faster. And like I always say, anytime you start playing on a new map and start building up the funds for your farm, you always reach that tipping point, don't we? You know, for a little while, you're like, every little penny is like, I need a little bit of this, need a little bit of that, and before you know it, in a matter of like a couple of hours of playing on your map, you go from, digging for pennies, trying to afford stuff, to be like the money's coming in as fast as you need it in order to afford everything that you want to buy. And I feel like we've kind of done that currently, like on Goldcrest Valley, to where, I didn't have the money to buy things, and now I got the money. I just can't, I can't find things to buy, because in that series, yeah, we can only buy from the used store. This series here, the only thing we're not allowed to do is borrow money. That's it. We can lease, we can buy new, we can buy used. I'm hoping this will complete the contract when I finish this little section right here. Yep, we are complete. Let's go ahead and turn that off. And we'll quickly collect on that contract. Perfect. So yeah, there are cultivating jobs, but not like any really big jobs I would want to borrow one on and do all the others. I mean, we do got some. I've seen the comments come in when I started first talking about the potato harvest and using the Mark Thor root crop harvester. I could do a whole bunch of those and get them done really quick. And everyone said I do it. I would do it, but we're going to pass on using that root crop harvester to even do like sugarcane. We could even do the sugarcane harvest, but we're not going to do that. I mean, that contract looks really good, but I know sugarcane harvest, that's going to take forever. And field 49, I'm going to guess that's a huge field somewhere. I even forgot what color sugarcane crop is. Oh, it's like a light lime green. Oh yeah, that's a biggie. That's a big enough field here. So let's see here. So yeah, there are no current contracts I would like to do. So I think we're just going to go ahead and call it a day or a month. Just drive right across the sidewalk as one would. And I'm going to drive back to our mobile home. We'll park on up. I will fast forward throughout the day. Maybe some more contracts will come up throughout the day. And if not, then we'll move on. Oh, yeah, so let me just double check on the store. Anything? Yeah, well, there is a mulcher, which, you know, that's not going to help us out too much. I don't have no equipment to pull that. So definitely... yeah, the tractor is, I think, the number one priority, and everything else that comes up would be nice, but if you don't have a tractor to pull it, kind of defeats the purpose. Well, the rain stopped about 3 o'clock. It is now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was just checking on some contracts, and the ones that were there before are still there. Nothing has changed. In the store, though, a cultivator has popped up, which wouldn't be too bad, but unfortunately, that's something that we cannot really pull with our Voltra. So I think we're just going to go ahead and call it a month of October. So let's go ahead and go to bed. And November, yeah, we'll wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Might be a little bit dim on the outside, but I think it's going to be bright enough to get work done. I heard a little bit of rain there, so hopefully it's not raining first thing. And this, I think that rainstorm I had in October, that was the first rain that I truly had on the map. So I don't know if the water levels has raised. I'm kind of glad, though, it's still a little bit dark here, 8 o'clock in the morning in November. If you look at the roads, you got those, I don't know what they, I don't see them that much here in the States. Let's not get run over by cars, but you can see, yeah, the markers in the middle of the road do light up at night, so you can kind of see where the middle of the road is. Let's check on the store. Well, there's a combine there, which would not be bad to actually have, but without a header trailer, and a grain cart, that kind of makes everything else, yeah, so definitely not ready for that. That's just for sugar beet only, so that's not going to help us out too much. Well, okay, that's fine. Let's go into, no, not the store page. What we got for contracts first thing? Well, there's some more foraging. Look at the, ooh, $67,000 for that foraging contract. I mean, how can you say no to that? And then we can take on Field 28 as well. Yeah, there are no other contracts I would prefer. So this is kind of interesting. I'm looking at the contracts. So it looks like the same forage harvester. The header looks a little different. The trailer might be smaller, but leasing it on this contract is only $673. Leasing it on that contract is $4,306. Let me just do a little bit of research. I'm trying to figure out which header is. I mean, if the header is the same working width, then that doesn't really matter too much. And the trailer might be kind of important as well. Well, after looking at a few things in the store on the materials that are available to us on the contracts, I think I will take the one for where the leasing costs a little bit more. I mean, we're going to make a lot of money as it is. I mean, we're talking like $74,000, somewhere around there we should make. The header appears to be 1.5 meters wider, and the trailer that we get to use can hold probably like 15,000 liters more. So it's going to be a pretty big field. So let's go ahead and borrow the items on this one. And of course, this foraging contract will just accept. There we go. We should be all set. Let's see here. Wait, did one of them just disappear? All right, so the one I just clicked on, that disappeared apparently. Because it doesn't show as active. Okay, that's fine. Do I want to do any... I was thinking about maybe getting a plowing contract and maybe getting one of our workers to go on it. But I think right now, I guess I'm just focusing on field number 42. And where is field number 42? I mean, it's got to be a pretty big... Okay, so it's right down here from the store. It's kind of an odd-shaped field, but it is what it is. Is the store open yet? It is. It is past 8 o'clock. Let's see. Let's grab the John Deere. What do we got here for a John Deere? An 8R310. The rain should be here somewhere around noon, so I got 4 hours to get the job done, which shouldn't be too difficult. Let's go ahead. Do I got beacons on here? I do. As the sun rises here in American Falls. Very picturesque. Let's turn on some lights here so everyone can see us coming on down the road. Oh yeah, where am I delivering it to? Is it the same spot? No, it's not. Alright, might be a little bit not tricky to get there, but a longer route to get there. It's not going to be too bad. Well, I was not expecting to be doing some more forage harvesting contracts, but at that price, I hate to say no. Is it this field here? It is this field here. All right, let me just pull the John Deere to the side. Turn that off, and then we'll just go ahead and teleport on over to the harvester. I was wondering, should I put the forage additive into it to get the extra 5%? But since I'm only going to get money for the extra chaff that we get off the field, I don't think it's going to be worth me buying a whole pallet of additive. All right, stuck that on there. Throw the beacons on, and we'll put some lights on here, so that way people can see us. Kind of strange. That's always been a thing in FS22. Sometimes you take a contract, and the second you click on accept, it disappears. Must be the farmer didn't want to wait around, got the job done themselves, so that's fine. Well, at least we got some contracts to do in November, and a very good paying one. And after we finish this contract here, it's almost going to be good enough that if a really good tractor comes up for sale, we might be able to afford it. Now, what kind of crop are we harvesting, forage harvesting here anyways? Soybeans. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves... Probably, I'm going to guess Frank Jr. will be the one doing the work for us in this field. And we'll go, yeah, we'll go around this way. And then 2 headlands ought to be good. See if Courseplay can figure out the route that it wants to take. It may not want to do it. Well, about 4 minutes later, Courseplay finally said, I got the course figured out. It took it a while, but it got there in the end. Let's go ahead and put the header on down. And what I should do is make sure we get the John Deere where it needs to be. If it didn't work, it would have been not much of a problem for me. I could have always gotten the forage harvester myself, and I could have put the John Deere on the follow me, and we would have been good to go. I said Frank Jr., and actually it's Franco that's actually going to be piloting the John Deere forage harvester today. So it's going to be a pretty darn good payday once we get done with this foraging harvesting contract. Won't be this episode. I'll probably have to get most of it done in between episodes, if not all of it. And of course, while I'm doing this every now and then, I'll probably just double check on to see if any other contracts come up, especially fertilizing contracts. And in the early stages, when it comes to what I would like to buy for vehicles and equipment like that, it's whatever comes up for sale. Try to get everything on the cheap at the very beginning. And then once we get very established here, then we can choose and pick what we want to buy. I didn't see how long. Courseplay can usually tell you how long it will take to get the job done, so I didn't see how long it's going to take us to get this field done. But I don't think it's going to take too long. Probably take me about an hour and 20 minutes real time to get it done. Maybe somewhere around there. So with the rain here we had recently, I don't know if the flooding will take place when it rains like that, or is it only during a certain time of the year. I know a few of you have been playing on American Falls for quite a while, so if you do know how the flooding kind of takes place, or at least a hint of, yeah, it only does it at a certain time of year, or it's going to rain a certain amount. Yeah, I'm glad I went with the bigger, leasing the bigger equipment. Not that it would have mattered, because the other contract just disappeared when I clicked on it. It's just going to save me the amount of trips going back and forth. And also getting a bigger header is going to help us get the job done quicker. Definitely doing some foraging. I have never done a farming simulator. With the forage harvester, I've only done grass and corn. I've never gotten into doing others. Although on Hinterland, we did do, I think we did some with Maize Plus, we did whole crop silage with wheat. But I don't expect the trailer to fill up too much, because it is soybeans after all that we're doing. I can see myself in the future on American Falls. If we buy like this field here, I probably would merge or get rid of these drainage areas, so make it one continuous field. But until we own them, we just got to do what the farmer has for a field. Yeah, Franco usually does a good enough job for me as well. He's kind of like Francine. I don't really have any problems when Franco's behind the wheel. Frank is my biggest troublemaker driving around. Frank Jr. is pretty solid, but he's had his moments as well. First, I didn't know what that was in front of the forage harvester. Then when it started to move, I'm like, oh, that's a deer. All right, gotcha. I'm trying to give the forage harvester a little bit of a push to speed on up a little bit. Yeah, I'm leaving the time scale at ×3 for a little bit, trying to get the sun to come up over the mountains here, because it's a little bit hard for me. I mean, I can see it, where the soybean is and where it isn't. It's just noticeable enough for myself with the amount of daylight that we have. Luckily, there's plenty of room around these fields. Not a whole bunch of trees on the edges, like I've been doing on Oceanside Forest. I don't know, I'm starting to think I'm going to be making a lot of trips over to, I don't know where I'm delivering this to. I know the location, but I don't know what it's called yet. I'm going to be making a few trips up there with some chaff. Just about full, and we haven't made one headland yet. But Franco's going to have to wait for me to go get this delivered. Oop. Don't want to keep hitting him in the back. Hopefully I can get around the edge of the field here. I could drive right to the crop. I won't destroy him at all, even though we got the crop destruction on. We'll try our best here. And this is the amount of space I should have on Oceanside Forest around my fields. But on that map, I'm trying to get every square inch that I can to make a field. Right, my beacons are on. It may not seem like they are or not, but they are. Let's see if we can get up to this cell point. It's going to be a little bit of a journey back and forth, but at the end of the day, when I finally get paid on this contract, it's going to be very nice. As long as I get it done by noon, because that's when the rain hits. I probably will slow down the time scale a little bit, though, now that the sun's really starting to make its appearance known. Yeah, fingers crossed that a nice sized tractor comes up for sale soon. I could lease a tractor that size, and then when plowing contracts start showing up, and also lease the plow, or maybe buy the plow. But the amount of hours I may put on the tractor, the leasing fees may just be a little bit too much. But we'll see how it goes. I think I need to be going over here. Yep. Let me get on my side of the road here. Say that, then I hit a car on the other side. Too busy staring at the map. I just want to make sure I go to the right sell point once I know which one I'm going to. It'll be nice and easy. Yeah, same one I've gone to before. As long as the money doesn't go up when I unload here, we're all good. And looks like we're all good. $20% complete on field 42, and I haven't even done the headland yet. Interesting. And 15% of it is delivered. So somewhere around 7 loads I'll have to bring on up. So probably be closer to 8 loads by the time I get done. But I'm going to get most of it done in between episodes. And we'll finish it off at the beginning of next episode and see what else we have in store for us for contracts. We may be just moving right on through the winter. Who knows? But I'm not going to be taking decent-sized contracts at that point. But anyways, that is going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching. As always, I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.